Here's how you can quickly come up with content ideas for your small business that are trending and are going to do well. So I'm going to jump right on my screen and show you guys the process. So first thing I do is open a Google Doc, and we're going to use an example here of product photography. So I'm going to take this, and what we're doing is something called kind of content clustering. So we're going to find our keywords, and then we're going to use those main keywords to find others, and then find topics and subtopics of popular articles and other things. And I'll show you the process. So first thing we want to do, let's say we have a business around product photography. We're going to go over, and you can use something like Google Trends, and you can just search here. So we search product photography, and if we scroll down, make sure this is at whatever kind of date range you want. I like to use the last 12 months. And when we scroll all the way down, we're going to see related topics and related queries. And what our goal is here is just to find related keywords. So we're just looking general right now. And you can look under topics or queries. And I like to sort by top. And we can see Amazon product photography is popular. We have lighting, we have studio, we have setup. So I'm going to add lighting and Amazon to my list here for just the main keywords. So I'm going to say Amazon, lighting, and setup. And I'm going to go back, and I could search through this more if I wanted to. There's a box here people are looking for, but there's not really questions and whatnot. But another good way you can do this if you don't want to use Google Trends is you can just go to just Google by itself, and you can see what it will auto complete. So if I type in product photography and then a space, it's going to show a lot of different queries that people are actually searching. So setup, jobs we don't care about, course, backdrops, props. So maybe we can add in backdrops, props. So I'm really looking for things that I can create content around that people who would be interested in purchasing my service of product photography would be searching or looking up. So maybe this is people that are looking up trying to do this themselves, or they're just trying to get more info where they might eventually lead to buying my service. And I'll show you what we are going to do with these in a minute. So I'm going to go back, and you can do the same thing on YouTube if you wanted to. I personally like to use a tool called vidIQ. Now there is a free section of this. You are limited on some of the keywords. I have the paid one, but I like doing research on this because YouTube is a very large search engine. It's one of the biggest search engines there is next to Google. So what I'm going to type in here is I can type in the same thing, my main keyword, whatever you think it is. If you think it's too broad, you can go more specific. So I'm going to type in product photography, and we're going to see they have a couple different sections. So they have related keywords, they have matching terms, and they have questions, which I really like. And you can see all the different questions and what the biggest search volume is for each of these. So how to shoot product photography, how to get clients, product photography of toys. So maybe that is something we write down. Product photography with phone at home. So maybe I want to type in with phone and at home. And then again, we have lighting, setup, home studio. So maybe studio, what cameras or lenses. So what I would then do with this, I can make this as long as I wanted to. I can make this as short. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go over to Google, and I want to find related blog posts or things people are posting about around some of these topics. So I could type in Amazon product photography, lighting for product photography, and see what comes up. And I'm looking for more blog style posts. And what I'll normally do is I'll skip the ones that say sponsored and see what's coming up first. So what lighting is best for product photography? So I'm breaking these ideas down more. So let's say we have our main, one of our topics right here, which is lighting for product photography. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find the headlines and the subheadlines that these blog posts are using and write them all down. And it will make it a lot easier for me to make a piece of content. So I'm going to click in right here. If you want to, you can take the headline here, but I'm going to skip that. So right here, he has what lights do you need? Which light is best? So specific lights, continuous lighting. So that would be an idea. So normally I would copy and paste this, but he does not allow you to copy. So I would go in and I'd write continuous lighting. And I would go in and I'd take a couple different ones of these. So best 3 strobe lights. So maybe when you need to use a strobe light, that could be a good idea. Softbox, etc. Since we can't copy and paste, we're going to go to the next one. Ultimate product photography lighting setup and tips. So if I wanted to, I could copy this and I could just put my headlines at the top here. And we'll bold these just so we know those are the main headlines. And we can just title this subheadlines. I'm going to see if he has any subheadlines. So color, standard, and reflection. That can just give us some idea. Scroll down, choice of lighting. We kind of already got that. Tools to help you shooting. Okay. How to arrange your lights. And I could keep going through here and taking these, or even go into other posts as well. Best lighting, etc. Natural lighting, maybe reflection, studio lighting, continuous again, external flashes, diffusion. So you get the idea. We can add a lot of keywords up here and we can see different headlines and subheadlines of what they're doing. And it makes it a lot easier to break down different topics. So let's do another example just so you can get a good idea of this.
Spending too much time trying to figure out how to market your small business, but can't afford to hire someone to do it for you? We can help. For less than the cost of your daily cup of coffee, you can get all the marketing support you need. Contact us today at foxsocialmedia.com for more information.
So we're going to use fitness coaching as an example, and I know things along the lines of weight loss, gain muscle. I know people are going to type in toning, maybe diet, and those are some of kind of the main keywords. So let's get some headlines and some subheadlines. So this is going to be a similar process. Maybe if I just type in build muscle, since this is fitness coaching and what people are going to be taking, we see how long does it take to build muscle. So we can just copy this. And if you want to, you don't even have to click into these. We can just copy and paste the main ones here. Fundamentals. So we're going to click in, type, so how do muscles grow? That could be a content idea right here. That's one of the subheadlines. And you can arrange this how you want. You could bold this and then just put these under it if you wanted to keep them together. I like putting them all under one though. So how to build muscle, we have that. Resistance versus reps. So I would come in, paste that. Why is rest important? Women versus men. I could put on there cardio. So we could type in cardio over here if we wanted to. And you get the idea. And we can play around with other ways of typing in kind of our keywords. So I'm going to type in how to build muscle and just different variations and see what comes up. Muscle building fundamentals. So we can copy and paste this as an idea up here. And then up here we have muscle hypertrophy. So that is another piece of content we could touch on. Hypertrophy, which is just muscle growth. We can talk about eating. So eating to build muscle. Train heavy, so how heavy? So how heavy to lift. Again, kind of how to eat, and we could even break that down smaller if we wanted to. Progressive overload, and you get the idea. So we would go through all of this, and let's say we have it for product photography as well. And you could make a lot of different pieces of content this way. And there's a lot of ways you can structure this. If it's a video, if it's a blog post, if it's Facebook or Twitter, whatever it is, you can start with kind of the big content and break it down smaller and smaller. So for example, let's say I was going to make a blog post that I want to turn into maybe multiple videos and smaller posts. I could do something along the lines of, okay, how to build muscle fast. Obviously, it's going to be very general. Let's say this is our title here. And then we're going to have different kind of subsections here. And we could say building muscle. So I'll probably start with something kind of just like how it works. And then maybe we touch on the training side of it, and then the eating, and then maybe some kind of conclusion, and we wrap it up there. So how it works, we could talk about kind of these subheadlines here that go under these. So how it works, let's see, training, we have resistance versus reps. We have cardio for muscle hypertrophy. That would be under how it works. Why rest is important. That can be under training as well. How heavy to lift, again, under training. For eating, I remember seeing, so eating to build muscle. We could say how much protein, maybe carbs we can touch on, and maybe how to calculate calories. Those are all things we saw in kind of the research we were doing. How long it takes to build muscle, we can use that as part of our conclusion and then kind of wrap everything up. And you could see how this could be an outline for an entire type of blog post. And you could take these smaller subjects right here and turn these into shorter form pieces of content and expand on these. So I could easily make a 30-second video of how much protein you need to eat depending on certain factors to build muscle, or how muscle hypertrophy works, etc. So you can see how if you just outline one kind of longer thing and you can get a lot of ideas, this took what, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, you can get a lot of different pieces of content that people are actually searching for and are actually helpful to them. So this is kind of the main strategy I like to use when trying to do overall content research, to get the main ideas and then kind of just narrow it down to the more specific ideas. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.